ant na jape kita akar. Ant na jape paravar. The word paravar means that which came before and that where it will go in the end. What came before and what comes after. Paravar. It also references an ocean, an endless ocean. So the word paravar means an endless ocean as well, something that is infinitely big. In Reras we read, Jana Nanak bal bal sad bal jaye tera antna para varya. Nanak, the servant, is a devoted, sacrificed devotee, just giving himself in again and again and again. But tera antna paravarya. He has realized that there is no end to this endless ocean. So, antna jape paravar. There is no end to the understanding of the before and the after. There is no end to the understanding of this unlimited ocean. So we cannot know what was before the universe. We can have ideas, we can have theories, but they will always remain theories because you will never know. Gurbani talks about how can the son know the experience of the father's birth. We can know the technicalities, but we can never know the experience. We don't even know about our own birth, let alone the birth of our own fathers. So, we don't know what was before the universe. If in fact there was a before, if in fact there will ever be an after, has it ever been created? We cannot know the ins and outs of these. Antna jape paravar. Wherever you look, there is infinity. Every time scientists think that they found a corner of the universe which looks like an empty bit of space, they point a telescope there and they just discover endless galaxies within the tiniest portion of space that they thought was empty. So what is beyond this infinity? It's beyond understanding. Antana jape. We cannot understand. There is no limit to our understanding. Antana jape paravar. But that doesn't mean people haven't tried. Antkaran kete bilalahe. Antkaran. For this end, to reach this limit, kete, how many have tried? Bilalahe means have really struggled, have attempted, have yearned. Antkaran kete bilalahe. Just a little bit about the spelling as well. Notice that so far, every word ant has been with an ankar. Limit, the limitation, the end. But here in this line, the word is mukta. It doesn't have an ankar underneath. So far we've been talking about antana jape, kita akar, antana jape paravar. There is no end to understanding, no end to our understanding of that which has been created, that which is endless. But here the word antakaran, this is poetic language. If the language had to be used in prose, in full sentences, you would never say antakaran. You would say antadakaran, the reason of limitations. And when Gurbani sometimes misses out an ankar, a word that's supposed to have an ankar, it means that it's linked to another word. So we can see antakaran, those words are linked. Antadakaran. So here Gurbani is using a grammatical device for you to understand where words are linked. This becomes even more useful when you look at more sentences of Gurbani. We've come across this example before in the Mool Mantar. Akal Murat. The word Akal is masculine singular. It should have an onkar underneath it, but it's missing that onkar. We call that word Mukta. That means that it's linked to the next word, or a word close by. That's why we don't say in the Mool Mantar Akal. We say Akal Murat. We know it's linked to the word Murat because of the missing onkar, Akal Murat. That word is called Mukta, and the same is happening here. Ant Karan, Ant da Karan. The reason of Ant. So it's basically the word of that's missing. Ant Karan Kete Bilalahe. For the limits, so many have struggled and yearned to find this limit, to find the end. So many meditators, philosophers, scientists, mathematicians have all tried to push the boundaries, have all tried to go further beyond what the last expert has done. But they've struggled to know the limits. In fact, they only come to the same conclusion, which is there is no limit. Tera ant na paya. And even in meditation, people try to push the boundaries. Everyone wants to outdo somebody else. Everybody wants to be the best meditator. Everyone wants to know that they've gone somewhere where no one else has managed to go. Everyone is trying to outdo each other. We have introduced a very limiting idea within Sikhi as well. We talk about Kamai. How much have you earned? What's your Kamai? What's your Bhagti? So we've also introduced this idea that you need to do more. Like there is an account and you're building up your brownie points. We talk about some people, they have a lot of Kamai, and some people, they have no Kamai. This is very dualistic. We're not seeing the oneness, we're seeing individuals, and we're competing with them. We want to know that we're doing better than them. Ultimately, if you believe that you have done any Kamai, then you're holding on to an ego, that I have achieved, I have done something. And Guru Nanak Dev Ji time and time and time again says this is not your achievement. Naam, Simran, Bhagti is grace. But that doesn't stop us. So we must take Gurbani at every opportunity to see what is it saying to us. What can we learn from it? This isn't just a conversation between Guru Nanak and some philosophers in the 14th, 15th centuries. This is not Guru Nanak Dev Ji just having very high level intellectual debates. This is Guru Nanak Dev Ji talking to you. If your instruction is to read Japji Sahib every day, then this is for you every day. It is not just a retelling of some historical conversation. Ant karan kete bilalahe, and what have they realized? Taake ant na paye jaye. That the limit of this, taake ant, its limits, na paye jaye, cannot be obtained, has not been obtained, will never be obtained. Eh ant na jane koi. This limit nobody has known. Eh ant na jane koi. None has known this limit. In fact, bahota kahiye, bahota hoye. The more that you try and say about it, it becomes even more, even less describable. Have you ever had that where you try and explain something and you think, I think I'll be able to explain it to you, but as soon as you try to explain it, you realize that you can't even bring the words together. And then what do we say? You just have to go and try it yourself. You had to be there. Because it's an experience, it's not something I can put into words. It cannot be retold. The more that you try and describe it, the more inaccurate your description becomes. The more you start to babble. The more you say that the universe is vast, you can say it once and people will appreciate it. But if you keep saying it, it's vast, it's vast, it's vast, in fact, at some point people will say, actually that word has lost all meaning. We're now forgetting what you mean, we don't get it. So everything that you try and say about this oneness is inaccurate. This is a katha. This is katha, a sermon, a description of something that is indescribable, a kat. Something that is indescribable is being described. It's like a bird who wants to touch the sky. When he's standing on the tree looking at the sky, he says, I can do that. And he tries with his little wings and flaps and goes higher and higher and higher. And he motivates himself for some time, I'm getting closer, I'm getting closer. But then he's been trying for some time and he realizes, I'm not getting any closer. In fact, the sky seems to be getting further and further away. Ant karan kete bilalahe. How many people have tried? Taake ant na paaye jaye. E ant na jane koi. Nobody has ever reached the end. Bahta kaye bahta hoye. The more you try, the harder it becomes. The less achievable it seems. Guru Nanak Dev Ji is pointing to something here. Don't make your own spiritual enlightenment some sort of unreachable target. You know, when we talk about enlightenment, we don't really have a word for that in Gurbani. Mukti means freedom. Enlightenment means something that you achieve, something that you attain. But we're not trying to attain this ultimate supreme experience. Because if you place something at such a high pedestal, then you realize that you've created something that is unachievable. So we're not striving for perfection here. Don't make meditation something that is trying to achieve a goal that's so far away that actually the whole point of your meditation is just to try and grab this thing that seems to be eluding you. Meditation is now, is here. Meditate right now. Be at one with the oneness now. Don't make the oneness something so far away. By making it far away, you've made it unachievable. And when you make something so unachievable, everybody who's tried to go after it has realized, I can't go after it. It's too much, it's too big, it's too far away. So this oneness is unimaginable, beyond our understanding. We cannot write a story about this. Every time you write about it, it becomes inaccurate, it becomes history. Every moment new stories are being created by this Vudi Kalam. This endless pen continues to write the story. You can't keep up with that story. So what can you do? You can just sit there and praise. Guruji started with Antana Sifti. I can only praise. And what is Guruji's praise? Vadda Sahib. You are big. You are vast. You are lofty. You are high. Vadda Sahib, Ucha Thao. Thao means place. Your place is very high. You are a vast master, Vadda Sahib, sitting on an elevated high place. Ucha Thao. Saying that the universe is vast is a gross understatement. So Guru Nanak Dev Ji isn't even trying to describe the universe, he's just describing the oneness that has created it. If the universe is so vast, think about the one who has created it, the one who is in everything, merged in everything, the one that is the entire universe. Who's that master? Who's that king? Who is that one who was there before everything, is everything, manifested himself into everything, does everything, sees everything, hears everything? Who is that? And if the kings of the world are sitting on a throne, then what kind of a throne is this king sitting on? So Guru Nanak Dev Ji keeps going back to this master king analogy, because by that analogy we become subservient to this king. This is the only authority that we have to surrender to. This is the only real authority. Any other authority that we surrender to is also subservient to that one. Vadda Sahib, Ucha Thao. Grand is that Sahib, that master. Lofty and high is their place. Uche upar ucha now. But above this elevation, Uche upar, this elevated being, there's something above it. Uche upar ucha. Something is above this elevation, and that is your name. Your Naam is higher than you. So now here means Naam, or it means greatness, your praise of you is higher. Now this is a very strange statement. We can understand that you are great, the oneness is great, the Creator is great. But is it fair to say that His name is great? What does that even mean? How can the name of something be greater than the thing itself? And it defies our understanding of everything that we know. If you enjoy a certain dish, the name of that dish is not going to satisfy that hunger. You want to actually experience it. If you want to drive a car, the name of the car isn't enough. Even if you're in love with someone, their name may be able to do something for you when they're away, but it doesn't compare to actually being with that someone. So how can Naam be more important here?